I'm going to take a little bit of a detour here to talk about the Thumb Wrestling Federation.
Merchandising.
Yes, Thumb Wrestling Federation got merch, and a lot of it. I've gathered some to take a look at today, so let's see if they hold up. Alright friends, it's time to look over the Thumb Wrestling Federation merchandise. From the good, to the bad, to the really weird. So let's start off with something mostly good. Thumb Wrestling Federation Complete Series Seasons 1 through 5. Only available in Australia and maybe the UK for some reason. Come on, we in the States wanted this too. Really good video quality, has all the matches, all the segments, everything you could want. Except proper design. Season 3 has its own little appendage here, but let's move past that and look at this. Say I wanted to watch Season 5 or Season 2, I gotta take these discs out. Why? What's the point? I guess it's to save money on production or something? I don't know. But if you can ignore that, I'd say it's worth getting. What else could you want, really? I guess a novelization of the series. I'm kidding. This is the Thumb Wrestling Federation official thumb book. It's got little games here, a comic adaptation of the Royal Thumble special, some caricatures and biographies of our favorite Dexteras and Sinistras, and this is my copy that I had when I was a kid. And no, I'm not going to show you my custom wrestlers in the back of this thing because I want to keep some integrity. Moving right along, something that I totally forgot existed and, well, to be honest, I think a lot of the fans did as well. This is a wasabi whammer. It's sort of a beanbag stress ball thing. It's filled with these little foam pellets, and man, it feels good to mash like this. Don't turn this into something weird, please. And I don't want to do that for too long because this thing is incredibly rare. First of all, it's got the tag and everything, but this was not made for very long. As it says here, 2008. So that was around the time Season 2 was ending production. And in fact, I don't know if you can see this here, number 145 out of 758. Only 758 of these were ever made. And it's so rare, in fact, that I couldn't even find a picture of another whammer. There's supposed to be 8 in total. Couldn't tell you who they were for, though. I couldn't even find the name of this thing until I had to look up the press release from the company that made it. Oh well, I think out of all the merch, the whammer's probably my favorite, but it's not the most famous. The most famous are the Thumb Wrestling Federation masks. That's right. The same company that made these made little masks you can put on your thumbs. And you could pretend to be the Thumb Wrestling Federation characters, but you can't wrestle with them unless you have another person. Makes being an only child really difficult. But these things kind of made it also difficult to be a TWF fan. Their quality wasn't always the best. Sometimes we'd have some really good ones. Take a look at Rolf the Reaper. This looks almost exactly like he did on the show. Weird thing about this though, he's labeled as Sir Serpent. I don't know why, but yeah, looks pretty good. Let's see if he still fits after all these years. He kind of does. Got a little bend here, but yeah, he's doing just fine. We also have some that, while they look good, you could tell that the masks were a little too detailed for a cheap line like this, such as Big Bad Billy Gotetsky. He looks fine here, but the horns kind of look a little off. But yeah, overall, just fine. Then we got some that are okay when it comes to the design. They do an okay job, but you look at them for a little while and you start noticing some inconsistencies, like Billy Batboy. His star is a different color than the rest of his face. His face is weirdly proportioned. He's all fuzzy and weird in the back.
Hello, I'm Billy Batboy, and I guess I have a Bruce Campbell-style chin here. Look how it protrudes!
But that's not what you want to see. You want to see the bad ones. Oh yeah, let me tell you, for every good wrestler that ended up being sold to little TWF fans out there everywhere, like little Trevor, we got some really funky looking ones. And I'm going to show you the ones I got. First of all, there's the ref. Did we really need a ref mask? There's no way this was going to look good. I almost put this in the Gotetsky camp of maybe the design's a little too complex for this toy line, but come on. Come on. We've also got
Fuzzy Big Time. Yeah, he's covered in hair for some reason. You have to go out of your way to screw up like this. Yeah, it's all furry and weird and ugh. And his mouth is off center and he doesn't look like the Big Time. I don't know what he's in, but it's not my face. Gary the intern here, he's the wrong color and his mask is just ironed on. I don't know if you can tell here, but yeah, he's kinda glued on. Next up, we have really deformed, furry Danny Kaboom. What is it with the thumb wrestlers getting fur? And this is another thing I'd like to point out about these designs. None of them were ever consistent with the way they were made. Sometimes things were glued or ironed on, and sometimes they're printed on like a decal. Danny's got a little bit of everything here, and it kind of makes him look weird.
Sorry, Danny, you gotta do something about that image, man. We got Grayson Glitz here. This is the only surviving one from Thumb Wrestling Federation how I would have made it. Not weird looking, just thought I'd show it off. Hey, you guys know what I always liked about Face Off Bill? How big of a brain he had. I think this one just kind of speaks for itself. Look at this. It's like he's got a marshmallow head. But this is nothing compared to the one that blew my mind as a kid. I got a packet with Wasabi and Flashback. Wasabi looked just fine. In fact, let me show off the Wasabi that was in the package. It was this. Still kind of flat and everything from the package. Turned out just fine. Actually, probably one of the best print jobs they've done. Flashback, on the other hand, Flashback looked like this. And this is not from me keeping him in a dark, rough spot. This is not me getting him wet. He looked like this straight out of the box. This is inexcusable. The ironed-on Flash is falling off. One of his eyes is like dotted with a pen. His mouth is definitely made by a Sharpie. This is awful. How did they let this happen? So yeah, that's the quality of the masks we're dealing with, but that's not all. The masks advertised that you could get all 52 wrestlers, but keep in mind, this is before some of the new ones from Season 5 came in, so everyone before that, even Dick Thompson and Colonel Cossack, you were supposed to get them. In fact, here on screen, this is all the wrestlers that were supposed to be available in this toy line, but these were the ones that you actually could get. Yeah, about a third of them never made it to production, despite being advertised as something that you could get in a blind bag or in one of the sets that they sold individually. And I know, I tried to hunt some of these down for years and I couldn't find it. In fact, these ones on screen, I had to go way back to the Nicktoons Network days and find the very first run, which was a limited run production thing, in order to get them at all, which means that later on, they discontinued some of the wrestlers, making the pool even more limited. And for those out there who like Stuart Ashen, he made a blind bag video of Thumb Wrestling Federation where he kept getting the same two wrestlers over and over. That was a normal occurrence. You would always get Ouch, Danny Kaboom, Knockout Ninja, all these really common ones, and then there'd be the occasional rare, and then the non-existence. I know it sounds like I'm getting really passionate about it, but this drove me nuts when I was a kid. I wanted the whole set. And it was literally impossible. That's just something I had to get off my chest after all these years. So yeah, I think the best out of all these was the Whammer, and the worst? Come on. Do I even need to say it? And now, back to the video already in progress.